It's coming up off the expense of other women humiliating themselves, homeless women, homeless people, humiliating themselves, putting all their business out there on the camera. And you got people in Atlanta is getting paid off that. And this is crazy. But I'm finna let y'all hear the story of the what's hanging around here in Atlanta. It's not only females that's from Atlanta is trash. You got trash coming from different cities to Atlanta. So when y'all say, "Oh, it's trashy women in Atlanta," yeah, it's been trashy women in Atlanta. It been trashy women in Atlanta, but it's females coming from out of town with their trashy behavior that making it, it's hard to struggle for somebody that's worth your time as far as in dating. So it's not just, ratchet, nasty women that's from Atlanta. It's out of town women that's coming out here with their nasty behavior and doing all kinds of ratchet, nasty things too. And a freak is a freak, no matter what city they from. They all coming from different cities. So if you think you gonna meet a out of town female and she be all lovely and you know innocent and the type of woman that you think that you can marry or build a relationship with, think again. This video is finna show you. You got trash coming from every city out here, but we're gonna start this video right now.
So I got drunk, and years later, I heard that there was a DNA match, and my stepsister was extorting.
Age of 39, though. Do you still see that train that was, ran on you? As you decided to do it, or was it the R word that they said it was?
You know what? I decided to do it. You know why? Because I didn't yell. It was the white women at the hospital. It's just like these white women who these athletes. Excuse my language.
No,
and then
okay.
all of a sudden, because they didn't call, but you knew he was married. You knew he was gonna leave his wife. You knew he movies. And now you're screaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hate to say direct that at Caucasian women, but that's what you see a lot of. And they'll do that to black men.
Listen, it happens all the time, man. And it's been happening for centuries.
Yeah.
She a freak.
Too, you know what I'm saying? So.
Oh yeah.
So.
Listen to the story of
Okay,
what he
so,
finna ask
all
her.
he did was
Listen what he
look at
finna ask
her,
her.
and
Why
that's
she
what
telling the
he
story
asked.
Whistle at
and
Yeah,
how
but
she
you know
feel her
what?
opinion.
I
Watch
look
this.
at that as an adolescent experience because those guys were young too, and I don't think that they saw my body as a temple, and they probably weren't.
I was about to say, how old were they?
So something happened like a few years back where I guess one of them was extorting for money for.
See, the first time was when she was 12 and she ran away from home, and she had the train ran on her the first time. So she gonna talk about how she felt when she got the train ran on her again. As she got older, the second time she did it, and she enjoyed the experience. But we finna go check it out.
White women at the hospital tried to turn it into rape, but guess what? I was a runaway from home. They knew it. They didn't call the police. I guess the victim's advocate did a report and decided to do it. And then you know what she did? I don't know if she called the police after or called my parents after, but she put me in a cab. And she told me to tell the cab to take me wherever I wanted to go. And I never spoke to anybody but my sister about it, one sister about it. But I didn't cry about it or anything. Like, I'm very open sexually as far as my body. I'm comfortable with my body. But I didn't cry about it or anything. And then, like, years later, I heard that there was a DNA match, and my stepsister was extorting a guy who became a football player whose DNA was found later on because I think he was being HIV tested, and they ran his DNA in a criminal check database, and it was like, who are you?
Yeah, you gonna be HIV
to
positive
like
pretty soon if you don't slow your roll.
to extort a guy off of something that wasn't a rape and made it into a rape, and it didn't happen to you, and it wasn't a happen to you.
How much did she extort him for?
Well, the rumor is it was $10,000 a month, and I was still looking into it. And
$10,000 a month?
Yeah, and I guess her mom was in on it, but I don't know if my dad was in on it. And I wonder how many guys' DNA, because I only seen one condom on the ground when I woke up, and I remember going up the stairs, they were all asleep, and I went up the stairs, and because I tried to wake, I remember some of it. I was like, hello, hello, and I remember waking up, my shirt was up, I had no pants on, I put some pants on. I went up the stairs, a mom with a spatula said, who the f*** are you? And then I ran back down the stairs and I went out the window that I came in. But I remember just getting the STD screening, and one thing I never want to do is take away from, and they were black boys, and I love black men. I love black men. I've not messed with too many, or had a relationship with too many white men, but
She love Ray Ray, Pookie, and Tyrone. That's what she basically saying. She love thug brothers. She don't want no sophisticated white man, because that's too sophisticated for her. So you have, women that date guys for different reasons. She belongs to the streets. She's a red female, and you might think she's mixed, but she's not mixed with black. I'm gonna say she's not mixed with white. You would think she mixed with white by looking at her skin complexion, but she's Puerto Rican. She's Spanish. She's Spanish and black. So let's get back to the story, but you know what I'm saying? You got females that like the bad boys because they give them excitement. But some of them belong to the streets anyway. They're not wifey material, they're not relationship material, so check out the video.
I'm gonna ask you.
and
Did you enjoy
did I enjoy it?
the experience?
I don't even remember most of it. Like, for some reason in my head, I want to recall laughing with them for a while. But I feel like we were all under 18. And,
Did anything like that ever happen again?
well, not like that.
Right. I mean,
But like,
so you enjoyed having
It's like-
multiple partners?
Yeah, I have. I have enjoyed having multiple partners. Usually, I like the two guys.
She
Now
a freak.
we're into that, but yeah, I enjoy the two guys and just me type of stuff. So.
I mean, if you enjoy it, that's okay.
She a freak.
Yeah.
There's nobody to judge.
But I don't regret that experience. What I do regret is somebody extorting a black man who they saw a monetary come up, and they decided to extort them off of something that happened to me. And
This is why most black men should stay single. And that's all I got to say about that. Until next time, most of these females are humiliating themselves, all in the streets. These homeless women, and they're ruining their lives. These bomb ass females coming from every city, what I'm saying, you can name, just to, make a name for themselves, make a whore name for themselves, because they did it in their city. See, women travel from city to city and do their whorish behavior because she already been known in her own city, by doing whorish things. So she come to another city where she's not played out, and guys feeling like that she's something new in the city and all this and that, but her vagina been tore to pieces. So they travel from city to city with a tore pussy, and then after they tired again, they vagina tore to pieces, they try to find somebody to settle down. They look for a simp. After they get their body ran down out, and they get tired of sleeping around, and they get jealous and frustrated because some females are having good men, and they want a good man, they want to settle down, so they see the happy life of other women, so they try to find that within a man, so they look for these suckers. Some of them will tell you their background, and some of them won't. Some of them go to another city and start a whole new life, but at least she's open. So if y'all open and and available, and y'all want this type of action, y'all know where to find her here in Atlanta. And that's all I gotta say about that. This shout out to MGTOWN, all the MGTOWN guys out there that's waking up to the truth, and you gotta be careful and mindful of women that you commit yourself with and be in a relationship with. And that's all I gotta say about that. I'm signing out until next time. Stay sucker free, because that's the way to be. And stay strapped up. Keep a condom.